The twin Earth paradox. Imagine a planet far away across the galaxy, a world that looks exactly like Earth. Same blue oceans, same green forests, same people, same languages, same history. Let's call it Twin Earth. But here's the twist. On Twin Earth, everything is identical to our world, except for one thing. The liquid that flows in rivers, fills oceans, and falls from the sky, what they call water, isn't H2O. It looks the same, tastes the same. It hydrates, freezes, boils, just like water on Earth. But chemically, it's made of some different compound, XYZ. No one on Twin Earth knows this. They call it water, just like we do. To them, it's the same word, the same experience, the same concept. So now the question is, when someone on Twin Earth says water, are they talking about the same thing as us? Philosopher Hilary Putnam posed this thought experiment to challenge how we understand meaning. And the result is what we now call the paradox of Twin Earth. It breaks language into two layers. What's inside your mind, your thoughts, concepts, mental images, and what's outside your mind, the physical reality those thoughts refer to. The people on Earth and Twin Earth mean different things by the same word, even if they feel like they mean the same thing. So when you say water, you don't just mean what you think it is. You're also pointing unknowingly to a specific substance in the real world, H2CgO, and on Twin Earth, when they say water, they're pointing to XYZ. It's not about belief. It's about what your words connect to. The paradox shows us that meaning isn't only in the mind. It's also in the world, and that the same thought, the exact same mental image, can refer to different things depending on where or when you're standing. So if everything around you was replaced with an indistinguishable copy, would your words still mean the same thing? Would you? The paradox of Twin Earth reminds us, language isn't just about thoughts. It's about what those thoughts are anchored to. And sometimes we don't even know what we're pointing at. We think we understand the world, but maybe we're just mimicking meaning, while the truth, quietly, is something else entirely. The problem of the many. Look out the window. You see a cloud floating in the sky. You know what it is. Soft, white, shapeless, but familiar. But now, try to point to the exact boundary of the cloud. Where does it start? Where does it end? At the edges, the cloud is made of tiny wisps of vapor. Light, scattered, barely there. Are those still part of the cloud? What if one of them drifts away? Is the cloud smaller now? What if 10 drift off? At what point do they stop belonging? This is the problem of the many. It seems like there's one cloud, but if you try to define it precisely, you quickly realize there are countless ways to draw its boundaries. Remove a few particles, and you still have a cloud. Add a few more, and it's still the same. But now imagine every possible version, every slightly different collection of droplets. Each version is almost identical. Each one seems to qualify as the cloud. So which one is the real cloud? One? All? None? That's the paradox. You're looking at many overlapping clouds, but calling them one. It doesn't just stop at clouds. Take a person, you. You shed skin cells every second. You gain and lose hairs. You breathe in new air, digest new food. Where do you begin and end? If we replaced one cell in your body, you'd still be you. What about 10? 1,000? All of them? At what point does the person you are become someone else? The problem of the many forces us to confront the illusion of unity. We see one thing, but reality contains millions of slightly different versions of it. And our language tries to flatten that chaos into something clean and singular. Philosopher Peter Unger introduced this paradox in the 1980s, and it's haunted metaphysics ever since, because it doesn't ask what things are made of. It asks what makes something a thing at all. When do scattered parts become a whole? And how do we decide where that whole begins and where it ends in a world made of tiny, shifting pieces? Are there really things, or just clusters that trick us into seeing oneness? Maybe the cloud was never one cloud. Maybe you were never one person, just the illusion of unity, held together by language. The regress argument. Let's say you believe something, anything. Maybe that the earth orbits the sun, or that your memories are real, or that 2 + 2 = 4. Now ask yourself, why do you believe it? You might say, because I learned it in school, or because it's supported by evidence. Fair enough. But then comes the next question. Why do you trust that evidence? Or why do you believe what school taught you? Whatever answer you give, it can be questioned, and that answer can also be questioned, and then that one, and then the next, and the next. You've just stepped into an infinite regress, a chain of reasons that never ends. And that's the heart of the regress argument. It asks, how can we ever justify anything? If every reason requires another reason behind it, there are only a few ways out of this loop, and none of them are perfect. Option 1, infinite regress. You accept that every belief must be backed by another belief, forever. But if justification never ends, then we never reach a solid foundation. Our beliefs float in midair, anchored to nothing. Option 2, foundationalism. You say, there has to be a stopping point. Some beliefs are basic. They justify others, but don't need justification themselves. Like bedrock. But how do we choose which beliefs get that status? And why should they escape the questioning? Option 3, coherentism. Instead of a straight line of reasons, you imagine a web, a network of beliefs that support each other. No beginning, no end, only interlocking parts. But that raises its own questions. Can a circle of beliefs ever justify itself, or is it just spinning in place? The regress argument doesn't just target philosophy. It lurks behind every claim to knowledge, every theory, every worldview. It forces us to confront the structure beneath what we think we know. Because if every reason demands another, then certainty becomes slippery, and truth feels like a staircase that never quite reaches the ground. The deeper you go, the more the floor crumbles beneath you. So maybe the real question isn't, what do you believe? But rather, where does your belief finally stop? And why does it stop there?